So it is time for a new unboxing. So open this package up. Alright, classic Shengshou box. And let's take a look what we got. Wow, there it is. Okay, that comes right off. Just a little bit dirty there. I'm not sure what that was. That's still on the creases of the cube a little bit. Wow. Okay. Smoother than expected, at least. This is alignment's kind of an issue. Just a little bit. Yeah, it is a little bit. Outer layers move, okay, except that they kind of drag the second layer with them sometimes if I don't hold it. So I guess I'm gonna have to hold the second layer when I do it. Again, these layers turn really smooth, but they kind of bring the second layer with it. Second layer is very nice. Third is nice. Fourth is very nice. The fifth kind of gets a little stiffer. Sixth is slightly less stiff, I think, than the fifth, but very close to the same stiffness. Of course, the inner one's going to be very stiff as well. Probably the stiffest, I would say. That's not surprising considering the Shengshou 12x12 is about that same way. It seems less pillowed, actually. Colors should be the same. And looks like they are. Smoothness is about the same. Or just say turning quality. Let's get this box out of here. Before I scramble, I want to compare sizes. Okay, so 12x12, 14x14. Moyu 13x13. Quite a bit smaller than that. I have them. This is the Shengshou 15x15, and slightly smaller, which it should be. QBs are pretty close. It's hard to tell if one's bigger than the other. I think they're actually the same size. Same size QBs in the center. That's kind of cool. This is the Moyu 15x15. I think the Shengshou is just a little smaller than that one when it comes to 15s. So It's going to be smaller than the 15 by a good amount. This is the Yushin 17x17 compared to it. It's almost laughable how big this is compared to this. Let's see. I have the Moyu 13x13. Very big. Quite a bit lighter than the Moyu, but I have this magnetized, so it's going to be pretty heavy. What else do I have? Oh yeah, the Moyu Meilong 11x11, which one of these is actually broken 3 times. I had to fix it 3 times, so that's why it looks so bad right now. It's got a lot of dry glue on it, so it's a little offset. Might have to order spare parts or something for that. It still, works pretty great. But only slightly bigger than the Moyu 11x11, which is pretty cool. This is a good sized cube. I do like this, the way the 11x11 feels in my hand by by Moyu. So this should feel pretty good too. Layers, being too small shouldn't be a problem since I've dealt with the 15x15. They seem to be the same size. Turning quality seems to be good. Now again, alignment can be an issue when trying to actually perform algorithms on this cube, or just, in the process of solving, especially those middle ones. The outer ones, let's see, those don't seem to be a big deal, at least right now. But this is the first official 14x14 that is commercially available, I think. I'm not sure if there's ever been one made before this, but let's see how it looks scrambled. There's a little bit of color wrong with that one. So it looks like this is going to work a lot like how the 12x12 works, which I wasn't, I was okay with the 12x12 when I first got it, but once I got used to it, I understood that it could lock up, or it could carry over pieces. Oh, see, like that. That shouldn't happen. It could carry over pieces way too easy, or / lock up, and mostly due to the middle layers of the cube would not. See what I mean? Like, that's pretty aligned, but I'm not sure why it's not going right there. So that is one issue with these Shengshou even cubes, that they have that issue, especially with the after turning the middle layers. They tend to catch, for it seems like no reason. There's something going on inside that I'm not sure what's going on there. It seems to be this middle edge, or one of them, is catching on to something inside. So this is actually this is quite a bit more catchy than 12x12. The odd cubes don't seem to have that problem. Like the Shengshou 15 is pretty nice cube. Okay, so let's see the piece. Very thin, of course. Okay, so they carried over. It's a pretty tight cube. If I can get that back in. Let's see that the way that goes in, it looks like it'll come out way too easy, so maybe tightening it will help. But it already feels stiff, so it's like, I'm not sure. I know with these stiff cubes, especially the big cubes, they become much less stiff when you solve them a couple times, at least in my experience. So I'm definitely going to just try solving it like how it is before I mess with the tensions. Again, I don't know why that's happening. It looks like this orange-yellow edge is catching onto this red centerpiece for God knows what reason. Alright. So it's been a few days now, and I've done 5 solves now, 4 of them that were timed. My first one was 34.53, I think. So it wasn't even as good as my some of my better 15x15 solves. My next solve was around 33.21. My third went back up to 35 for whatever reason. That was my own fault. And my last one, I think, was 32 something, but I'm not sure because the timer kind of messed up. So I was able to do better than I can on 15x15 at least. And a few months past. I haven't tested in a while. However, this cube has improved. It still has the issue of the middle layers. Sometimes it's not just the 2 middle layers. Sometimes it's the this layer can also screw it up. But I found out that the shimmying of this layer to turn the U layer does help. It is a little less strenuous than it used to be. The cube has smoothed up a bit. It's much less tight, even though it wasn't that tight to start. It's actually a little smoother turning than the 15x15 is currently. Maybe I just haven't done enough solves in the 15x15. That could be true. But overall, besides the issue of it seems like the core misaligns with the 2 layers. When you turn the middle layers, sometimes it's misaligned, like you can, you see what I mean? And that one fixed itself, but other times you have to do that a little bit to get it going. What I think is happening when that happens, see if I can get it to happen again. Alright, so here's a case where I have that issue. So my theory is that when this happens and I can't do a turn, even though it looks all aligned on the outside, I took a look at the core. All I gotta do is split these 4 inner pieces apart and take a look, and you can see, hopefully, see that screw right there? That's not where it should be. It should be a little bit lower. The hole should be like right in between these 2 and these 2 pieces. However, it's a little above. And when we shimmy the layers a little bit, and it seems to turn now, I'll take a look at it now. And it's more right in the center, if you can see that. Let's see if I can make a bigger hole so you can see it. Alright. Hopefully you can see that. The hole is right in the center for the screw, which allows us to turn. So I think the whole core that holds the pretend middle layer of this 14x14 is a little bit off sometimes when I turn these middle layers. One of my subscribers, I think he's a subscriber, also has the Shengshou 14x14, and he thinks the same thing, and he said it reminded him of the V-Cube 6 years ago. That used to have the clicking mechanism, and people used to do the V-Cube 6 mod where they attach one of these centerpieces in the middle, one of these 4 here. They would glue it to the core on each of the 6 sides. I'm not sure if you have to have a specific one or not. It seems like you wouldn't. I have considered that. I'm not sure that would fix the problem, but it seems like it would fix the problem. I'm a little afraid of doing it right now, but if someone thinks that's a good idea or has done it and it has improved the cube, I'm definitely considering doing something like that. However, for now, I'll probably just solve it the way it is, and because it seems to be improving a little bit. It doesn't happen nearly as much as it did at the start, but it still happens enough to be significant, so I'm considering that for the, I guess, the recent future. I might do something like that. Everything besides that, this cube is amazing. So if it were for that problem, this cube, I would rate this cube just 5 out of 5. But because of that, I'd probably rate it 3 out of 5, because it is a pain in the ass. It slows you down a lot, especially during PL parity. I remember doing a couple PL parodies, and just it involves every middle turns everywhere. So it's just like, I'm gonna try to do one. It's not as bad as it did. Like the first 2 solves, it was really bad doing PL parity, but you probably can't end up doing this. You have to shake that a couple times, and it's just like, you see what I mean? It's kind of painful. So, besides dealing with all of that, cutting is pretty good. There are some issues. It is a lot like the Shengshou 12x12, but I think it actually performs a little bit better. Not quite as smooth as this puzzle when they're both broken in. I mean, the Shengshou 12 is very smooth. However, I am afraid, like the 14, when I'm turning the middle layers, they're a little bit stiffer on this cube. Like these ones sometimes don't align, and you're going to do a U move after you do a middle move, and it can, well, it's not happening here, but during a solve is usually different than just doing random turns. Oh, there's one. That's probably the same issue that's happening in the 14, but the 14, it seems to come up a lot more. So, anyway, cutting on the outside at least is pretty good. Usually that's all you really need. It's not much to worry about. It's a pretty stable puzzle. The only thing that really pops out is these 2 middle pieces right here. Sometimes if you get them misaligned. Those pieces, just like it happens on the 12x12 too, these pieces will mostly pop out. Everything else seems to not be an issue most of the time. So you gotta be careful of that. But every other layer is very smooth turning. I don't have issues turning all the other outside layers. Basically the outer 5, doing a little slice move and then doing a U-turn. It's not really an issue. So, besides the couple problems that it has, the one major problem especially, this cube is very, very good. It's a very, very good size. Hopefully with the mod, I can help it to be a lot better cube than it is. And this is the only 14x14 available, and it's from Shengshou. I got this off of CubeZZ, I think, for just under $200. So, if you're in the market for it, if you're interested in the 14x14, just be aware of those issues, or if you feel like maybe trying to fix them, because I'm planning on doing that, go ahead and get this puzzle. It's a really fun puzzle. First 14x14 commercially available that I know about. So if you enjoyed the video, please like it. If you want to get the puzzle, you can buy it off CubeZZ or possibly another site. I'm not sure if any other site has it. I'm sure they do. But since CubeZZ is based in China and Shengshou is also based in China, they're going to be one of the few stores that actually have these puzzles, especially when they come out new like this. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Oh, shit. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Man. Ugh.